Hey guys, thank you for joining me again today. But today is a different type of vlog. As you can see, we're actually outside. Now in this part of the forest there's a couple of horses that have been released, so let's go try and find them. Here we are. You can see there's a lot of debris by the last couple of storms. That is amazing. All these trees used to have branches on all sides, hardly maintained. Look at that pile of rubble over there. Wonder what caused that. Of mounds of dirt. Well, this certainly is one of my favorite parts of the forest. Hardly touched by any man. We're at the edge right now. As you can see, it goes a lot deeper, which is basically where we're going next. Gotta love the area. Gotta love the weather. And as it is just beginning of March and exceptionally warm, there is a lot of new activity going on. New leaves are sprouting everywhere you look. Birds are happy. Trees are happy. Plants are happy. See that patch? Where's a little bit more light? Let's go over there. Here they are. Well, we're off the track, all right. You can clearly see that this forest is hardly maintained. You can also clearly see that this is a man-made forest. Those old trees are aligned. When you move over just a little bit, there's another straight line. There's another straight line. And so on and so on. While we're here, look at those beautiful green colors. This is amazing, isn't it? And even though this is a man-made forest, they leave it alone as much as possible. Let's have another look around. These things are old. So, and there you have it, enjoying the forest. And what do you see near one of the most favorite areas you know? Well, somebody has been in the area. And if the cold wood isn't enough proof, there's more proof. There is even more proof. They even took the time to have a nice little barbecue going on. They left all their plastic, more burned wood. What kind of an ass are you not to take that again with you? Come on, folks. Okay, so to get a fire going, there's going to be a couple of things that you need. You need heat, you need fuel, you need air. Well, air is all around you. The heat, we are going to cause that with friction today, just for demonstration purposes. And the fuel, that's what we're going to find right now, because obviously to get it started, we're going to need some tinder. Let's find that. So what I like to do when I find dry-ish material, I take it with me and I'm going to put it in a lunchbox. Because a lunchbox can dry out even a damp piece of bark. We'll leave this one here because it's a little bit too small for our purposes. Let's gather some more. This here stuff is nice and dry. Now some other stuff that you can use as tinder, basically a fire starter, is, well, basically anything dry. Even abandoned bird nests. And the abandoned bird nests, pay attention to the word abandoned. Some birds reuse their nests, so don't take those. But when they're really abandoned, they're always built in a very dry area, which means they're already dried out. You don't need to put them to dry extra in a lunchbox. You can simply pick them, use them. Most of them will even take a spark from a fire steel really easy, and you got a fire going. And then there's something else that you can use which really will take a spark really well, which is almost rotten punk wood. You can see it is really brittle and you can almost shave it off by hand, and when this stuff is dry it'll take a spark really fast. So let's cut some in our lunchbox. Now that's all I'm going to need, so I'm going to leave the rest here in nature where it belongs. Now in previous videos you heard me say never to use live wood, always use dead wood for when you're building, constructing, gathering stuff. Now obviously this pine has had it, He probably came down in a recent storm, something like that. And it really is dead. Now there's one way when a tree is still standing to test if it is still alive or not. So I'm going to demonstrate that with this here dead tree. Now to demonstrate this, I'm going to need my trusted Mora. And have you ever wondered, of course there's a clip on it to attach it to a buckle, but there's also a buttonhole here. Have you ever wondered why? I'm going to show you right now. Now obviously there's pants and there's pants. With some pants you can simply clip the Mora on. With other pants you don't have that option really. So they usually have a button on the side which happens to fit this buttonhole. So I can slide the Mora wherever I want, but to make sure I don't lose it, because I move around, this moves around, I can simply click it in, and that's quite sturdy even. Click, there it is. I won't lose that, and it's really easy because you need only one hand to get it on. Alright, back to the tree. Okay, to make sure that the tree is alive or dead, you don't cut around the tree. You don't take off all the bark, because if it is alive it will die right there. But what you can do is make a little V incision, and when there's sap coming out or it's green underneath, it is still alive. So let's test it right now. Just take a little bit off the outer bark. Now we can see the wood is, well, wood-like. There's no sap flow. There's nothing going on in here. So we can be sure that even though it is wet wood, you can see that by the slightly darker color, this one is dead alright. So we can use it. One of the things that you will need as soon as you got a spark going is very small twigs which can easily catch a flame. Just gather a couple. Now, and as I've mentioned before, pines always have a very flammable resin inside, so just a couple of twigs can do the trick just nicely. Now, I was wandering about a little bit and I found this stick hanging, and it is very dead. But this, to me, is a great looking stick, because not only it is very dry, it is also a little bit brittle. Makes it ideal for the next bit. Okay, so here we go. When you are collecting nice bits of dry wood, some wood shavings are essential. You can even make feather sticks, and feather sticks, well, these are called feathers. They will make a fire going really easy. Well, right now I'm just collecting them in my box. Look at that, we've got a nice little feather going. Take it from the other side. And when we put a spark to these feathers, they will ignite immediately. Well, some of them escaped right now. Let's put them back in the box. Oh, look there, bonus. Now, some guys like to make proper fire sticks, keep them close together, all on the stick. I'd love that, but right now I'm just collecting stuff that will take spark as soon as we're going to make the fire. Now, making a fire in this actual forest is a huge no-no. Not only because it is littered with pine trees, which all have very shallow roots and flammable resin, but also because underneath this is all a peat soil, meaning this is very flammable area. Even smoking is prohibited in this area. Don't even attempt to make a fire because you will ruin the entire area. Just don't. However, I found the next best thing and we're going there right now.